Hi guys, Ajax PEC Zwolle. Look who we have today. We have Sam Plummer. Sam, it's always great to have you. Thanks for making the time. Tell us a little bit about, like the game. It was like a comfortable win after a couple of weeks of, like 1 goal difference, not playing too well, etc. So this feels like a relief, I think.
Yeah, well, firstly, thanks for having me back again. I think the game 3-0, I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks comfortable, but it definitely didn't feel that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, PEC Zwolle, they had plenty of chances, especially in the first half, not so much in the second. But I mean, even the first 60 seconds, they maybe should have scored. It was a good chance that they had. And we looked a little bit nervous, especially in the first 20 minutes, probably up until the first goal from Tadic. And I thought throughout, if we were playing against maybe a stronger opposition, they would have definitely scored, maybe got 2 or 3 even, because we looked so open at the back. And again, PEC Zwolle, they had chances to score. I mean, the second half, we seemed to have a bit more control in the game, and it was just one-way traffic. But definitely in the first half, it wasn't quite as comfortable as what the scoreline reflects.
Yeah. Do you think it has to do with our form in recent weeks, or do you think it has to do with the new formation that Ten Hag came up with for this game?
I think a lot of it for me, I mean, we've had injuries, we've got players missing. Martinez is a big loss, as we all know, really. And I think personnel is a big thing. And, if there's one criticism of Ten Hag is, he hasn't really rotated the squad throughout the season. And we're seeing the kind of effects of that. We're relying on players who haven't had to feature too much prior to this point. And, they haven't maybe got the match fitness, maybe they're not up to the quality because they haven't had that preparation up until now. I think it's down to a number of reasons, but for me, the main reason as to why we, maybe have been struggling a little bit is because we just haven't rotated the team enough, and we've been relying on the same 11 week in, week out up until maybe the last couple of months.
Yeah. On a positive note, though, we are seeing some brilliance of youth players coming up. Like Taylor is your man of the match, by the way, and also Regeer, who started today on the right hand side, as a fullback.
Yeah, I thought it was a good debut for him at right back as well. I don't know if he got an injury. I couldn't quite tell if he picked up an injury after I came off.
I'm not sure either. Yeah.
But for a clean sheet, and I thought he fitted in very nicely. So it's definitely reassuring if Mazraoui goes that we've got options there. And Taylor, I mean, I thought he was exceptional today. I thought he controlled the midfield very nicely. That assist for Tadic's goal, I mean, when you put it all together, I'd definitely say it's up there for goal of the season, because the whole move itself. Yeah, we were a little bit lucky to win the ball in the middle of the park, but the ball from Taylor was exceptional, and the finish was special as well.
I asked Papimento this question, so I will ask this to you too. So which one is the nicest goal, the first or the third from Klaassen?
It's funny you say that. I was genuinely thinking about this before recording, and I think Klaassen's looks nicer. It's a lovely curling finish into the top corner, but when you take into consideration the pass from Taylor and then the finish from Tadic as well, I think you have to go for the first. But we were blessed with 2 beautiful goals today.
Absolutely. Look, talking a little bit about the formation, what were your thoughts when you saw this formation prior to the game? And now looking back, do you think it was a good move? It was a bold move a little bit from Ten Hag, but was it a good strategy in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, look, whenever you win and whenever you play, I guess even though they had chances, we were quite comfortable, especially in the second half. So you've got to look at the formation and say it obviously worked. For me, the strangest thing was seeing Kudos out on the left. I thought maybe I've never seen him play out on the wing really, so it was kind of strange to see that side of it. But in terms of the actual formation, you can't criticize it, especially if we get the 3 points in the win. Again, at this point of the season, when we need to win no matter what. So I think. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry, I just want to ask you one question, but go ahead. Just.
Yeah, no. All I was going to say is I think we'll really see more of it. If Ten Hag was staying, then we would see more of that formation next season and have a proper chance to challenge it. But at this point, when results are so important, anything that gets the 3 points is important, regardless of how it looks.
Yeah, I want to touch upon Kudus, right? You mentioned him. I mean, I didn't think, but maybe you have a different opinion. I didn't think he had a bad game, but he did look a little bit sometimes. I feel like he's a little bit lost sometimes. When he has the ball, he doesn't know automatically what to do. So of course, I'm not saying he makes mistakes. I'm just saying that he doesn't know, like, okay, so this player will run, so I will give him, like if he tries something creative, it doesn't always go his way. You have to keep it very simple. And most of the time, he keeps it very simple. Do you have an explanation for that? I mean, in my opinion, I think, a lot of people say, well, actually, there is a divided fan base, to be honest. There is one part saying he has so much potential and we haven't seen the real Kudus. And the other ones are saying we're overestimating Kudus at this point. He's not as good as we think he is. Where do you stand?
See, I've probably said it before, is that I actually really like Kudus. I think it's hard to say because he's had so many injuries. Ten Hag doesn't really get him into the team, and ultimately he knows the player, more than anyone else. So if there's a reason why he's not playing, then Ten Hag will know that reason. But for me, I think every time he plays, he shows some, really good qualities. Even today, I thought every time he got the ball, okay, he may have been a little bit too simplistic with what he was doing, but he was looking up, he was trying to go forward with the ball, and I didn't think he was afraid to run with the ball. He looked quite confident in certain areas. I think as a whole, maybe he's lacked confidence, and that's probably where a lot of the problems have come. But I thought, in spells today, he definitely looked like he was willing to go forward and actually try stuff that maybe some other players weren't doing. Overall, I do really like Kudus, and I think that there is potential for him, but he needs to have a run of time. He needs time in the team. It's like Van der Beek in England at the moment, is that he's not, he's not getting the time of day in the team. So then you put him in for one game, and all of a sudden, everyone criticizes him because he's not playing well. But you can't expect a player, to play that well when he doesn't get that much of a chance. And I think with Kudus, okay, he's had a lot of injuries. But he just needs a bit of time. And I think we'll see that with Durrami as well next season. If we give him time in the team, that they will blossom. It just, again, it'll just take time.
That's the way you're looking at it right now. Yeah. One player I have to highlight, because sometimes I'm thinking, like this player feels like he's been playing for Ajax for years, but it's his first full season. And I'm talking, of course, about Timber. A lot of rumors about Timber maybe going with Ten Hag to Manchester United. We surely hope not, and we think this is only a rumor. But how do you, have you seen someone like this? We had De Ligt not so long ago that also made an impression, in his first season, these kind of things. Yeah. But, we're starting to think this is normal. But can you explain what we've been seeing from Timber this season?
Timber has been a special player. And I think, by my own admission, I think he's quite an underrated player. When I look at the Ajax team at the moment, he's not someone that I generally talk about, and that's probably a problem on my side, because he's so comfortable on the ball, and the way that he sort of presses forward and actually creates chances, it's crazy, really, the way that he plays. And I know obviously he can play right back as well, and I'm not surprised that Ten Hag wants to take him. I wouldn't be surprised if other teams around Europe wanted him as well, because he's such I guess, a different type of central defender. He does all the dirty work at the back. His tackling is exceptional. The way he's worked with Martinez has been great as well. He's been a real asset to the team at such a young age. It's crazy. You draw comparisons to De Ligt, and there are a lot of similarities there, but I can't explain why he's so good, because when he first started the season at centre-back, I didn't really think he was going to get much game time. And him and Martinez, as I said, they've been so good for us this season that it would be a massive loss if he goes. And to explain why he's been that good, I think it's just the sort of player he is. It obviously shows that his qualities are, they're rare. You can't find them in many players. And he, as well as he is defensively, he creates so many chances, as I said. So yeah.
I think it will be crucial for Ajax also to keep him, because we will go into rebuild next year. Yeah. I think Timber has to be part of that. It's crucial, I think, for the foundation of our new team.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of the players that have left Ajax in years gone by, maybe they've not been ready for that jump. We've not really seen too much success from a lot of the players that have recently left Ajax, and I think hopefully Timber sees that and thinks, actually, maybe I need another year here. I need to learn, I need to improve. And I've been saying about Gravenberch, so hopefully he stays, but that's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But for Timber, I think for his own development, it would be good for him to stay and really sort of solidify. We see it all the time that players have one great season and then all of a sudden they're not the same player.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that that's going to happen with Timber, but it is a possibility. So we do need to, well, he and we, I guess, all need to be careful and sort of help them stay away from that side of things, really.
True, true. Look, finally, right, looking at today's game, you said like it looks more comfortable than it was, in fact, especially in the beginning of the match. We tried a different formation. We're going now next week against AZ, which is a crucial game, really.
Definitely.
And at the same day, we know PSV and Feyenoord are playing against each other as well. So it's going to be very important day in general. Are you comfortable with what you've seen so far that, okay, I have more comfortable now after the game about this AZ match than I had before? How do you view this?
I'm not too confident, if I'm being honest. Just because, we looked good against the team fighting down the bottom of the table, and even then they had good chances. And I have absolutely no doubt if RZ had those types of chances, they would have scored them. And I will expect that RZ will be much more comfortable in defence. They'll be causing us a lot more problems, and we won't have the sort of chances that we had today. So we need to be a lot stronger in defence next week. We need to be a lot more clinical, and obviously it's a lot easier said than done. But it's been a real problem for Ajax. Yes, we've shown true qualities of champions in the last few weeks where we've scored sort of late winners and we've had to really sort of dig deep for wins. But RZ won't be an easy match for sure.